I love you, Mommy.
I love you too, Bubby. This has been a week. This has been a week. Saturday the 9th, I had 2 anxiety attacks back to back, and it's been a long time since I've had an anxiety attack. I mean, I've dealt with it for years, but it's been a long time since I've had one, and I have felt fine. God's grace, His love has been all over me, and I feel like He's been keeping me mentally while not at work. And I've had this conversation with some of my friends, and I started getting notifications about bills that were due, and then I got some bills in the mail. And I think that a combination with also eating some really bad processed food, my body just, everything just kind of, I don't know if that's the, yeah, that's better, just kind of exploded. And as I was sitting there, it was like I heard the Lord, you know, I heard my friend's mom was praying for me, and I hope she watches this. My friend's mom was praying for me, and I just, oh, the air is on. Let me go turn the air off. But during the anxiety attack, after the second one was ending, my mom was sitting next to me. She was praying over me. And I mentioned that my best friend's mother, had been praying for me. And I was hearing the words of her prayer. But then I could also feel the presence of the enemy in the room. And it was literally like he was reminding me of all the bills that were due. And on this side, I felt like I was in a movie, you know, the devil, angel, woo. On this side, I literally reached up my hand, and I just began to say, I'm not bound by this. I'm not bound by this. I'm not bound by this. And the Lord led me to get up and to go lay hands on the walls of my apartment, and I just began to feel a shift in the energy. So I don't know what's going on. What was at that time, I didn't know what was going on in my apartment building. But intercessors, I am asking you to answer the call to put on some gloves, walk through your apartment buildings, walk through your neighborhoods, and lay hands and pray. Not necessarily lay hands on people, but lay your hands on the walls and just begin to pray. I don't know everyone's situation. Everyone's situation is different. Just like you guys don't know my whole situation. But the enemy wants us so distracted by our bills that those of us who are called to pray for others, it's almost like we don't get the chance to pray for other people because we're so distracted by all this other stuff. And this continued to happen because this happened Saturday the 9th. This continued to happen the 10th, the 11th. It continued to happen for 7 days, where I would get this feeling of oppression and depression and anxiety. And it got to the point where I was going to work out with my friend Ravia. Oh, shout out Ravia. I felt so down and so overwhelmed that I was gonna cancel it, and I wasn't gonna work out with her. And this is on Zoom, this isn't in person. But as I was about to text her, I felt the Lord say, you need to see Ravia. And I was like, okay, you know what? I probably need to work out. It's probably, something that I really, really needed. And we actually ended up having a conversation, the start of a really good conversation about the Lord. And I just think, I don't know how much she needed to have that portion of the conversation, but I needed to have that conversation. And I was just thinking, you know, had I not been obedient to the Lord and not worked out with her and not let it lead to the conversation about Christ, I could probably just, I probably would be in that same state of mind, that same oppressive state of mind. I can hear my mom correcting all of my English right now. Again, you don't know my situation. I don't know your situation, but we bind up that spirit, the spirit of whatever it is that's keeping you up late at night, that's taking away your breath to the point where you feel like you're gonna pass out and you can't handle it. We bind up all those spirits, depression, oppression, anxiety, whatever, worry, whatever. We bind that up. And I don't care who you are. I want you to flood the comments or flood my inbox, or if you have my contact information, just text me, whatever, with your prayer requests, because I don't want to get so caught up in my stuff that I forget that God had. I love going to Saturday morning prayer at my church. I enjoy it. I don't know. I love to pray, and I love praying for other people. If you want it to be, if you have a private prayer request, if you have, you know, and you only want me to know, just let me know, and I won't share it with my other prayer partners. But if you have a public prayer request, then we can all come together and pray for you. But I just want you to know you're not by yourself. You're not in this alone. Oh, I never addressed why I'm in Carlin's room. Okay, y'all, it's been a week. It has been just... It has been a week, and I feel for Carlin. My son is 5 years old. He's an only child, and I'm his best friend right now. And I went through his room. I threw away all this trash, and I'm cleaning up his room, and I reorganized it, and I just felt so good. And he just loved it. He loved it. He got so excited. He was like, I'm gonna play over here, you're gonna play over here, and I couldn't bring myself to leave. He really wanted me to just stay in his room and play with him, and I was just like, okay, well, I really have to film today. He's like, oh, you can film it here, you're gonna set this up over here and set this up over here, and he started moving stuff, and I was just like, I mean, if you want me to, sure, I will film in here today. Those of you who are YouTubers, you know that when you try to find another space to film, it is a headache, because then you have to figure out what the lighting's gonna look like and all this stuff. So the lighting might be really jacked up today. I've got some natural light, I've got this, but it is what it is. This video felt a little bit more unplanned, but it really felt like God wanted me to just do this one. And you may hear him in the background. He's doing some of his schoolwork right now. But this had to be filmed today, because I don't know who this is for. I don't know who else is struggling. But woo, y'all pray for me. I've gotten one unemployment check, and I'm in Pennsylvania, and they just said something is wrong and I won't get paid again until it's resolved, and I can't contact anyone to fix it. So, but God has us, and I could be so wrapped up in my own stuff right now, but I choose to still pray for y'all. If y'all have prayer requests, send them in. Other intercessors, I just encourage you to, yes, pray for yourself, but don't forget that God has called you to pray for others as well. And don't get tied up in everything that's going on with you. Because I don't know, I feel so much better when I pray for other people. I feel so much better when I serve other people, when I give to other people, when I just love on them, when at a time when I was doing facials, I felt so good cleaning his room. I love caring for other people, and I can sit in my room all day and be super sad and worried and, ready to just check out because I don't know what's going to happen, but God is in control. It's not my job to know everything that's going to happen. I want to finish with Psalm 119, verses 49 through 64. That's a lot of verses. So I'm just going to bounce around on a couple of verses so I don't have you watching this all day. I like short videos, but this one I think is going to be a long one, so just brace yourself. Verse 49 says, "Remember your word to your servant, for you have given me hope. My comfort in my suffering is this: your promise preserves my life." Oh, let's just keep going. 51. "The arrogant mock me unmercifully, but I do not turn from your law. I remember, Lord, your ancient laws, and I find comfort in them." Let's skip down to verse 57. "You are my portion, Lord. I have promised to obey your words. I have sought your face with all my heart. Be gracious to me according to your promise." I want to just focus on the one that says, "I have sought your face with all my heart. Be gracious to me according to your promise." If you're stuck at home, I don't know, for some of y'all still may be stuck at home. I am choosing to stay at home. I go back into work very, very soon, but we won't be open like that. I'm just going to be working to get us ready to open. But I believe the Lord just really wants you to just sit with him. I don't know who this is for, but don't put a time constraint on your time with him. Just sit with him. Just take a moment and enter his presence. I love a schedule. Schedules are my favorite things, and sometimes I run over. Even this morning I had an hour block to spend with the Lord, but it went to close to 2 hours. Just rest in his presence and find comfort in his presence. Instead of, it's so easy to seek comfort from Netflix. Oh, I love watching reruns of my favorite shows. But it's so easy to find comfort from Netflix and alcohol and Tinder and Bumble and whatever, playing games or reading books. It's so easy to find comfort in those things when God just wants you to find comfort in him, to just take a moment and to find rest. The comfort that stays there. The comfort that is his comfort is way better than Netflix comfort, just so you know. I know this video is a little longer, and I mentioned that, and normally this would be where I would cut it off, but I want to share this. About 2 weeks ago, I was spending time with the Lord, and he just wanted me to literally watch the sunrise with him. And I didn't realize how good of a view my bedroom has, of a sunrise, and I was blown away. I was in awe. I was like, oh Lord, this is so cool. This is so beautiful. And it was the most peaceful time I'd ever spent with him. It was so beautiful. And I was in awe that I've been in this apartment since 2016. I'd never taken the time to just watch the sunrise with him. But it was so beautiful. And it was so needed. Just being in his presence, just like the chains of anxiety and fear and anger and self-loathing, they just fell off. And it was something that I didn't know that I needed. Again, it's so easy to try and comfort yourself with food. Oh, that has been a struggle. I've been baking nonstop, but it's so easy to find comfort with food, with Netflix, with just so many things other than God. It's really easy, but God is so beautiful because he's so patient and he's willing to just wait there and just watch, like, okay, yeah, go ahead, watch your Netflix. I'm here. I'm ready for you. Whenever you come, I'm ready for you. And I love that he gives us that free will to just do whatever we want to do, try and self-medicate whatever way we can. But then he's like, but I've got everything you need. I've got it all. And it's just so wonderful to know that when and if Netflix gets cut off, I'm not going to lose my mind. If the lights get cut off, I'm not going to lose my mind. If this happens, because I have God. When everything else is gone, I have God. When everything else is gone, I have His comfort, His peace, His joy. So if anyone else out there is struggling like I am, I'm, yes, right here with you. Blow up my phone, whatever you need. If you just want to talk about whatever, I need somebody to talk to. So I don't care if you do want to blow up my phone, that is fine. I don't have a degree in theology. I can only share what God is doing in my life and how He's helped me and the things that I've learned on this journey to falling in love with Him. But I want to pray for myself and pray for y'all. So just bow your head. Father, you're it for us. You're everything we've ever wanted, and for some of us, you're someone we never knew we needed. Lord, we just invite you to come in and just shake up our lives as much as you want, because we know you're God. We know that you have everything under control. Lord, give us the strength to make it through this, to walk through this like never before, God. We need you now more than ever, Lord. Have your way, God, in our lives. We want to be pleasing unto you. We still desire to serve you and to glorify you, even in the midst of every distraction that's around us. We desire you, Lord. We desire to have true comfort that can only come from you, true love that can only come from you, true joy that can only come from you, Lord. God, give us the strength to keep going. We don't know how this is going to end. We don't know how it's going to end. And it's not our job to know everything. But it is our job to just trust you. You're it. You're the one. We love you. We adore you. Come and do whatever you want to. Amen.